It's been a minute, but we're picking up right where it left off. Yeah. Before proceeding, please be advised that today's episode explores content that is visually, psychologically, and emotionally extreme.
So emotional is getting her to an extreme.
Oh boy.
We're starting off great. Anyway, how y'all feeling? Hopefully y'all feeling good.
We're stepping into the darkest corners of both the avant-garde cinema and real-world history. So there is extreme body horror, which is our first segment. Our first segment really it does include graphic descriptions of mechanical manipulation, self-mutilation, and disturbing sexual violence. If you're sensitive to body horror or the industrial scale gore, this section may be distressing. There's also real world atrocity and true crime involved in this, which is the second segment of this. It transitions to, I'm not going to say what the film name is because that's a spoiler. This is the factual reconstruction of the bodies in barrel murders.
This is gonna be
Yes, it does involve discussions of child abuse, grooming, torture, and premeditated serial murder.
we get deep.
And it does involve psychological distress, which deals with themes of society decay, dehumanization, and the manipulation of vulnerable communities. The following stories are intended for mature audiences, and we believe in looking at these folders to understand the human condition. But we do recognize that this content may not be for everyone. If at any point you feel overwhelmed, please feel free to step away. Listener discretion is strongly advised and not mandatory.
We beg you, in fact, if you really do not feel comfortable with any of these topics, we very much beg that you just click off and find something that involves anything other than this.
Yeah. Well, we've already dealt with some, heavy grounded trauma lately. But today, it's gonna get cold. Like, literally, the temperature. Because we're going to Tokyo of 1989.
Oh.
If you like body horror as a genre, you probably heard of things called The Fly or The Thing. But those are just Hollywood, and obviously they have budgets and safety protocols. But what I've looked at is something that feels like it was filmed in a fever dream using scrap metal and stolen 16mm film. Yeah, the film actually was called Tetsuo, the Iron Man.
I was feeling like it's not going to be a very fun Iron Man story.
Yeah, no, not Tony Stark. Has nothing to do with the Stark industry, I hope.
Oh, I know.
Honestly, it's less of a movie and more of like biological anatomy that's somehow gotten on camera. Yeah. The story starts with the person credited as the metal fetishist.
English.
Yeah, English is hard. It's called the metal fetishist. The movie opens with the guy in a room filled with rusty pipes and scrap metal. He takes a sharp piece of metal, cuts open his own thigh, and quite literally makes himself the Iron Man by putting metal into his own body.
Oh boy. Absolutely. So it's basically not the face, but with metal.
Yeah, pretty much. So it starts from reading this and from watching it. It starts to get infected, and naturally he sees maggots and freaks out. He runs out into the street, where he gets hit by a car driven by a salaryman and his girlfriend. They dump his body into the woods to cover up the crime, which is usually like a classic urban legend setup, you know. But this isn't really a ghost story. This is a mutilation story. The salaryman goes home, and the next morning he's shaving. He notices something. A tiny piece of metal, like a wire, poking out of his cheek. He pulls it, and it doesn't come out. It's just growing from his own bone. This is the only part of the movie that I could only describe as like a SCP containment breach at this point.
Feels like it already.
Yeah. The salaryman starts turning into metal. It's not like Iron Man from the comics, like it kind of suggests in the title. It's not a suit at all. It's violent, agonizing eruption of rusted coils, jagged rebar, and sparking wires from his own flesh.
I almost say it's more like spring trap than anything.
It's like reverse spring trap. Instead of like the clamps going inside of him, it's poking outside through his skin, like outside of his body.
Yeah.
It's like he's growing the spring lock suit.
The worst way possible. It's fun.
There's even one scene where his this is weird because Tokyo, they do add a little bit of certain graphic scenes. His lower anatomy. Can't say that on YouTube. Turns into a high-speed industrial drill.
Oh.
His wiener, his ding dong,
I heard
is turning into.
I heard what you said. I just said and just what?
I know. He was like, what?
Like, it took me a minute to comprehend what the hell just came out of your mouth. What do you mean?
At least the new pickup line he could say is, "Hey, baby girl, let me drill into them guts." I don't know what women are into nowadays. I mean, not all women, but some. Or, like, cooter owners.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing? Moving on.
Yes.
I mean, imagine during like a.
What's funny is we barely even got him yet.
Barely even. Oh yeah, we did barely even garden yet. We could garden after this fact because this is part of the script here. During that private moment with your girlfriend, it's hyperkinetic. It's a shot in grainy, high contrast black and white, and the whole thing feels like it's vibrating. The frame moves so fast, like it's the film itself trying to escape the projector. Basically, meaning there was so much going on in that scene that the film that they used to record it was actually would vibrate that badly. Yeah. But yeah, let's garden. Because after that, I need a little garden. Apologies to all the wiener owners. Can't even say men and women anymore like that. And it's not a bad thing, because I myself identify as gender fluid. Yeah, it's a gender fluid.
Anyway.
But
Anyway.
yeah. But like I said, we can't even say men and women anymore. I'm just gonna say like cooter owners or wiener owners.
That works.
Does that work? Is that okay?
How about it?
Okay.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers. I'm so glad we got water. ASMR of coughing.
Pour the last bit of the grape juice into my water to explain that.
Put grape juice in your bong water?
First of all, my apparatus water, and second of all, no, I'm talking about my water that I'm drinking.
We're a couple of minutes in. We can We can say it.
I thought it was what? I thought that was opposite. What?
We're a couple of minutes in. We can say it. We can't say it within the first couple of minutes. I'm pretty sure. I think it's the same with cuss words.
Oh, fair.
I think it's like a minute in, and then you can start saying it, like, actually.
No, it's in my drink. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Nerd.
My bad. Please.
Nerdy.
Anyway, then
Love you too.
boom.
Yeah.
Back to the Metro thing.
Yeah, so back to the Iron Man movie. Or the Tetsuo Iron Man. You wanna know the cool thing about this? The director, Shinya Tsukamoto, he didn't have a studio at all while doing this.
So he was just doing this out in the. Oh.
Yeah, he didn't even really have a crew by the end of it. He shot most of his own, film at his own apartment.
Oh.
According to public records, he spent 18 months filming this. So, like, a year and a couple months.
Yeah.
It's all because of stop motion, moving the actors frame by frame and making them look like they were glitching through reality. Also, the lighting had to be perfect.
I'd imagine in this case.
But you want to hear something even crazier? The Iron Man suit that was in the movie, it was made of real, like, scrap metal. The suit itself that they used on set was real.
Okay.
Tsukamoto and the actors actually did cut themselves on the costume, like, every day.
Oh.
Yeah, and by the end of the actual shoot, most of the crew had already quit because the conditions were so miserable.
You know what I would have said to that? Chainmail.
Chainmail?
I mean, that's not exactly what it was made for, but sharp things going in is kind of what it was made for to an extent, or at least sharp things slicing you. That's exactly what it was meant for, just slicing shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, like, that's most I can think of. You're dope. I would prove that. Oh, some part of me wants to prove that theory.
So Tsukamoto ended up having to do the lighting, the camera work, the acting, and the cleanup himself. Like, this was his own personal project at this point.
Right.
He was essentially living inside of the Iron Man suit for over a year. Honestly, that's dedication, though. I will give him that. That is some actual dedication. Now we have to talk about the sound in the movie, though. The soundtrack was pure, just industrial noise, like clanking, screeching, grinding metal. Like, it was meant to simulate the new Tokyo, the idea of the city living in a machine and slowly being consumed by whoever lived in it, you know?
Or whoever lives in it being consumed by the city.
Yeah, pretty much, like, whoever's living in the city getting consumed by the city.
Yeah.
But they looked at, I guess, like, the government and stuff like that as, like, a machine, so that was the whole ideology.
Makes sense.
Yeah. There's also an obscure detail that I found in an old interview where Tsukamoto said he wanted the film to feel like physical assault on the viewer.
Physical assault on the.
Yeah, that's a direct quote. He said he wanted the film to feel like it was physical assault to the viewer.
That's. Wow.
He didn't want you to just watch the transformation. He wanted you to feel the rust on your own throat.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
There's a moment at the end of the film where the salaryman and the metal fetishist, who also evolved, realizing they weren't enemies anymore, they decided to merge together into one giant metallic mass of tanks and wires. And their goal was to rust the entire world. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This just reminds me of like what are they trying to do? Like a Transformers horror? It feels like. What the hell? It was it's a very like 1980s Japanese fear.
laughing at it like it's like if we watch it, we would be sitting there like looking at the game like fucking what is happening right now?
Yeah, I'm over here laughing now, but when I tried
Watch when we
watching,
get hit by a giant kaiju mechanized monster.
yeah, well, when I watched it, I genuinely was kind of traumatized by it, even though I'm like laughing about it now.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, it's bad.
For real.
Yeah, like it's graphic. They don't censor anything.
Oh, shit.
Well, he didn't censor anything. Yeah. But it was a very 1980s Japanese fear. It was the idea that our technology, our cities, and our salaryman grind, the salaryman grind is turning us into something that isn't quite human anymore. We're becoming old, efficient, and rusted. Honestly, now I'm just looking at the computer and I'm looking at the wires under the desk and all, and I'm wondering something. Is that a hole or a screw? Is that a mole or a fucking screw?
What?
Anyways, now moving on to the next one. We're
What?
going to 2011
What are you
in
doing?
Australia.
No, wait a damn minute.
This is
You
the
just pass the back there. What do you mean? What if the thing in your arm is a screw? What?
now we're looking in 2011 in Australia.
This motherfucker.
This is
Are you
the
gonna laugh? That bullshit.
this is the directorial. Jesus, you throw me off the groove.
Damn right. Anyway.
This is the directorial of Justin Kurzel. So the film is called Snowtown. So in some places, it was released as the Snowtown Murders. I have to give a genuine warning for this one. It's not like the others that we've discussed. Like, it's not an allegatory, and it's not like a vision or anything. This is a beat-for-beat reconstruction of the most horrific serial killing sprees in Australian history, by the way.
Like
Like an actual case, like based on true story.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So, little side separate warning real quick. So now picture a tiny dusty town called Snowtown in South Australia. It's 1999. Not yet the early 2000s, not really considered the late 90s in a way. Anyways, the police are investigating a tip about some missing people. They go into an abandoned skate park building. It's just a normal crumbling building on a quiet street. They crack open the door of an old bank vault. Now, according to historical records, they didn't find any money, but they did find 6 plastic barrels. And inside those barrels, that's where the bodies and barrels monker kind of came from with this one.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
But in the movie Snowtown, that doesn't start with the discovery. It starts years earlier in a grim, like poverty-stricken suburb of. Excuse me if I pronounced this wrong. Adelaide. I'm gonna say Adelaide. That feels right. Honestly, and that's what makes it so hard to watch in a way. It's not like a horror movie. It starts off more like a home video or like a home movie.
Oh, damn, that threw me off guard.
The story follows a teenager named Jamie. He's living in a cycle of abuse and neglect. Then a new man enters his mom's life, John Bunnington. Oh, Bunning. Sorry, Bunning is played by Daniel Henshaw. And honestly, reading the notes real quick, his performance was so realistic it allegedly disturbed real life investigators.
Oh, what?
Bunning wasn't just a shouting villain; he was charismatic. He was the Larrikin, sorry, he'd throw a backyard barbecue for the neighbors. But Bunning had a hobby. He convinced his neighbors and Jamie that the community was crawling with PDF files and deviants. He tapped into poverty. He tapped into their poverty, their anger, and their fear. He turned a group of regular working class people into a torture murder cult. According to court transcripts, Bunning didn't just kill people, he interrogated them. He made them record confessions on cassette tapes before he ended their lives. He wanted them to admit to things that they haven't even done just so he can feel like a righteous judge in a way. Now there's something called the bathroom scene. Yeah. In the film community, this is often cited more as like a harrowing sentence ever to pull on a digital sensor, you know? Not because of the gore, but Kurzel actually hides a lot of that. It's because more of the audio. The sound of the water, the casual way the men talk about what they're doing, something unspeakable. It feels like you're trapped in the room with the person it's happening to. Public reports suggest that during the film, these sequences, the atmosphere on set was so heavy that the actors frequently had to stop just to breathe. Kurzel had a lot of non-professional actors, so there's like real people from surrounding neighborhoods, which made the film feel more like a documentary that honestly made a lot of people's skin crawl. It feels like you're watching something that you weren't supposed to see.
Well, true, yes.
Hold on, let me drink some water. We're sponsored by Hydration, right?
Sponsored by hydration. Drink more water, people.
Put the coffee down for 5 seconds. Ugh. Excuse me. But here's a detail that hits the creepy lingering note. The production actually wanted to film inside of the real bank in Snowtown where the bodies were found. The town understandably said no, and they've been trying to move past this for 20 years. They eventually filmed in a different town, but they recreated the bank vault to the exact specifications of the police photos. And here's a strange little fact, too. The real John Bunning is still alive. He's serving 11 consecutive sentences of life imprisonment without any possible parole. According to the prison records, he remains one of the most controlled and influential inmates in the system. So even behind bars, that charisma has never faded.
Seems like it. I mean, behind bars, all you really have is charisma.
Yeah, that's all you really can do. There's also an obscure bit of trivia about the casting. The boy who plays as Jamie, he was discovered in a shopping mall. He had no acting experience at all. So Kurzel wanted someone who didn't really know how to act scared. He wanted someone to actually be the victim of John Button's grooming.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That description alone is a little disturbing.
Yep. The most disturbing thing about the Snowtown isn't just the murders, it's how easy it was for them. Bunning didn't use magic, he didn't use a mask, he used a backyard barbecue and a us versus them mentality. He found people who felt forgotten by the world and gave them a reason to feel powerful. It makes you wonder about the John Bunnings of the world and the people who are standing in the grocery store line just behind you, or the guy who offers to help fix your car. Evil isn't always living in a haunted house. Sometimes it's just a guy in a tracksuit with a plastic barrel and a very convincing way of speaking. That's all. We gotta go and make sure the front door's locked or something. Cause yep. Bye.
Oh, that's rude. Fair enough. Damn.
Bye. So we don't die.